Hello my darlings, it's been a minute and a half, hasn't it? Today I'm delivering you the modular story Cozy, adjusted to feature Kirishima. If you don't know what the concept of modular stories is, basically I take the intro of a story, delete the rest of it, and rewrite the entire thing anew. This is basically just to make the writing process a little bit quicker so that you can have more stories to enjoy. Outside of the intro, this story is completely changed, just somewhat similar. It's a new story, don't worry about it. I hope you enjoyed just as much as I enjoyed writing it, and please remember to watch the video until the end, like or dislike, and comment something down below. This way you help me with the YouTube algorithm. What else you could do is share the video around as far as you can so more people watch it, because I keep getting comments telling me that I'm underrated, and you know, I'd really like to stop being underrated. No, seriously, please do that. I would really greatly appreciate that. Now, let's get right into the show. In the world of quirks, heroes and villains, it was difficult to acquire a tranquil moment. Seeing your boyfriend burned out as he was hurt your soul. Admittedly, you weren't sure if your wish for peace and quiet was born out of genuine concern for him, or if you simply felt neglected. Either way, the both of you needed to get out of the city. Behind his back you went through his schedules. Luckily, the two of you worked at the same hero agency. Him as the star hero and you as a simple secretary. You pulled a few strings and managed to get him 2 weeks off, without it counting towards vacation time. While this did mean for a few days he'd be working overtime, you'd use this to your advantage, to plan more privately. A friend of yours had recently went on a hiking trip. While walking for miles through wet and cold forests didn't seem like something you wanted to do, there was something else they experienced. A private winter lodge the pro-hero Grape Juice rented out to heroes whenever he and his wife didn't use it. And he even gave heroes he personally knows a discount. You just had to take that deal. Behind your boyfriend's back, you began packing your things and selected just the most perfect outfits for him. This place was reclusive, in the middle of a forest that had snow gently covering it every day. With an anticipation-filled heart, you looked at pictures the hero had sent your way. It looked like a childhood dream of yours. But just when you were about to put the pictures back into your wallet, your boyfriend barged in on you, and he gave you a confused look. Going first from you, to the bags, and back to you. This was awkward. "Are you breaking up with me?" He said that in both confusion and a sudden quick rising surge of anger. You quickly shook your head in response and chuckled softly. "No, it was supposed to be a surprise." You paused, realizing quickly that maybe you should tell him to prevent him from going. Doing or saying anything stupid. "It's a good surprise," you quickly added. Now that the cat was out of the bag, you really found no other way around it, and told him all about your little devious plan, ending with him simply shrugging and agreeing to it. The two of you had started your journey early in the morning. Your boyfriend, Kirishima, was driving. Mostly out of convenience to you. It allowed you to take a nap during the long drive. Later during the trip, you would switch places. Your boyfriend was used to stay up late and often got home just when you woke up. Those days were the hardest for you, because he wasn't there to give you attention. You knew it was selfish, yes, but he made you so happy that being without him just felt wrong. You were going in and out of sleep, which was slightly inconvenient. Kirishima had put on an audiobook of a criminal mastermind infiltrating the Freemasons, trying to reveal its secrets to the public. While the premise sounded really entertaining, it was mostly made up of talking scenes, interviews, and descriptions of the organization's inner workings. Your boyfriend loved conspiracy theories. And if it wasn't for him concentrating on the open road, he would have put on his headphones and listened to the entire thing while playing a strategy game on his computer. Why does this lodge have to be so far out? He asked after catching you during a lucid moment. You were still in a just barely awake delirium. He side-glanced at you. You know, this far out of the city and all. You blinked. It's a winter lodge. He shrugged. So? It's a winter lodge in the middle of August. You grunted and rubbed your eyes before sighing. Okay. You gave yourself one more minute to get fully awake. Okay, so. The lodge, for some history, in the most northern reach of Japan lies a pine forest that all year round is covered in snow. The lodge has been built in a part of that forest. It's a very popular tourism spot. Kirishima huffed in acknowledgement before asking, "But why does it snow all the time?" No, you were confused. Kiri, this is the area where they buried weathermen. Oh, I attended. Man, his sidekick weather report was heartbroken. You looked at your boyfriend. Well, if you were there, why do you not know about the snow? The redhead shrugged. It was years ago. Can't you just tell me? You sighed. Weatherman loved the winter season, and to honor his memory, his sidekick visits the mountain every month to dust it in snow. Over time, the overall temperature in the area decreased, which meant the snow remained there longer. Ah, now it's a winter wonderland, got it, interjected Kirishima excitedly. Man, I hate hot summers. If it's as I imagine right now, we should do this every year from now on. You chuckled. We aren't even there yet. At around 1 p.m. you two decided to switch seats. More specifically, you were driving and he put the snacks and small handbags you had put on the back seats on the passenger seat, so he could lie down. Hey, please turn off that audiobook, he asked. Why? You were about to do it anyway. It's too suspenseful. I couldn't sleep if I were to listen to it. Of course. You turned off the melodic voice, only to hear it be replaced by someone shouting about gay squirrels. What the? You asked. Oh yeah, we're in the countryside, chuckled Kirishima. If you found my conspiracy theory obsession cringy, get a load of these people. You blinked and stared with a perplexed expression at the radio. Wait, how do chemicals in the water actually turn squirrels gay? Just put on some music. I think I have a CD in my bag. The drive took longer than you initially anticipated. As it turned out, at some point, Kirishima had left on the wrong exit on the highway. So when finally the scenery of summer-drowned fields turned to frosty spectacle, the sun had already begun to set. Your boyfriend had profusely apologized after waking up, but you were too annoyed by this to even muster up the willpower to complain. You had been driving for an hour through the twilight of the snowy pine forest. The road was free of frost. Kirishima's head suddenly poked out between your seats as he sat up. He must be just as excited as you. The road made a turn to the right, and then... "Wow," said the redhead, as the glowing estate came into view. I can't believe it," you said. It was even more beautiful than the pictures. As the pro hero had promised, all lights were turned on, creating a North Star that guided you towards it. Hey, it looks just like... Don't ruin this by pointing out the obvious, Kiri. You interrupted him dryly. It still somehow managed to be an hour before you arrived. Okay, he said, bracing himself. It's gonna be really cold as soon as I open that door. While he was trying to set up his joke, you had already left the car and had begun unpacking. Ah, come on! He laughed as he slammed the trunk door. This was all in good fun, of course. Even though he would never admit it, he loved it when you gave him no bullshit. "I'll go grab the keys," Kirishima said as he took them from the glove compartment. As he stepped outside, he took the 2 heavy clothing bags. You follow him close behind, with 2 smaller additional bags filled with cosmetics, shampoo, etc. As you ascended the wooden, snow-dusted stairs to the entrance, you were filled with excitement, your heart beating just as fast as it did when you first kissed Kirishima on the mouth. 2 weeks. Just you and him. Once inside, Kirishima spoke up. "What do you want to do? Explore? Or empty the bags first?" You deadpanned and then smiled. "Explore. Who wouldn't?" "Yay!" He jumped and rushed deeper inside. The lodge was akin to a mansion. 4 floors, multiple bathrooms and bedrooms, 1 really large living room with a fireplace, 2 kitchens, 1 dining room. In the basement was a fully equipped private spa, with a sauna and a pool. But the place Kirishima had immediately gravitated towards was a home cinema! He shouted. Even you, a person who had no idea something like a home cinema even existed, were impressed. It was a large black room, currently lit up by Christmas lights that were hung on the ceiling. A projector was located at the back of the room, with a bed and 3 leather chairs in front of the wall where the movie would be projected on. "How does this goblin even afford all this?" muttered Kirishima loud enough for you to hear. "I mean, he is the number 1. And unlike All Might and Endeavor, well, he really goes all out on sponsors and deals." The redhead blinked and you gave him a look. I know what you're thinking, but I'm actually not," he said, and you shrugged. "Just, maybe to raise our living standard just a little further." You were actually very happy in your minimalist-style apartment in the middle of the city. Suddenly, he was behind you, gently massaging over your shoulders. "Hey," he whispered. "Wanna check out the sauna again?" You chuckled. "What do you mean?" "Well, now that we have seen everything, I was thinking we could go back and give that place a really deep analysis. Maybe while it's turned on and we're naked." You chuckled and turned around, wrapping your arms around him, looking up right into his face. "Are you sure about that?" In response, he gently nibbled on your ear, making your lips quiver In response, he gently nibbled on your ear. Your weakness. Making your legs quiver in anticipation. And with a smug grin, you whispered right into his ear. "And what if I refuse?" Immediately you regretted saying that. as you raced into the air. You squeaked as you were put on his shoulder. You kicked lightly in fake protest. "Oh no!" you shouted, amused. "Help! Someone! I'm being sex-napped by my boyfriend!" He laughed. "Oh, you vile vil—" You interrupted your own sentence with another shriek, as he had just spanked your ass with his hand. Was that really necessary?" "Ah, come on," he laughed. "I'm getting into it." For a moment you went limp. He snorted. "Why is this a problem?" You pouted. "Kiri, if I would get really into this being kidnapped thing, you wouldn't enjoy it." He stopped for a moment, thinking. "How about this?" he said. "A deal, if you will." He looked at the back of his head. In the position you were right now, this was the best you could do. "After we're done in the sauna, you can spank me all you like." You blinked. "You'll regret this." You weren't able to see the dumb smile he had right now. And finally, after reaching the spa area again, he put you down. Revenge time. You jumped in. Being neither strong or heavy enough to throw him down, he simply took a step back. "Whoa there, tiger," he said, as your hands moved down to his belt, opening it before pulling his pants down. There was already a suspicious tent in his pants. Then you raised your own arms, allowing him to pull off your shirt. After both of you were freed from your prison of cloth, you took his hand, guiding him into the sauna. And with a seductive smile, you simply said, "Let's test that hardening quirk of yours." As you turned on the sauna to a setting with a sticker that read, "Just hot enough to still bang," in Minetta's handwriting.